Hey guys, and today we are going to be doing a review of the Numark Mixtrack Pro 2. Now, this is something I brought about 3 days ago, and I received it 2 or 3 days ago, ordered it on Christmas. And since then, I have noticed a remarkable difference in the way I mix, and I mix a little bit better than I used to on standard DJ software without a controller, but with a controller it's just helping me get better. Now this is a beginner's one, and I'm going to be honest, I'm a little bit past beginner, but I was on a tight budget. I didn't want to spend 950 quid on a mixer and then another 1,200 per pair of CDJs. I did want to do that. I would love to do that because of the fact that the mixers, they have all sorts of effects like roll, and they have there's roll, there's flanger, and the effects just sound so much better on that kind of thing, But on this one, it doesn't. It's. I use Virtual DJ, and Virtual DJ I find isn't that great. I mean, I like it because it's simple to mix with. It's just simple to it's only because I've been using it for about a year now. So I am trying my best to learn other DJ softwares like Traktor, which is the most commonly used one these days. I'm not sure, this one isn't. I don't think this one's supported for it, but I know it's supported for what's it called, Serato, and that's what it comes with. That's what it's built for, Serato DJ Intro. You can buy other versions. It does cost about 120 quid-ish, but it's in the hundreds to get the software. But it's a one-off payment. You pay it and you've got it for life. As long as that computer doesn't break, then you'll have to buy another one when you get a new computer. So bearing that in mind. Other than that, it is a really good mixer. I think, it's a very good DJ controller. It's good for beginners and it does everything you want it to. Apart from, it only has 3 buttons for effects. It has effect. There are the only effects, and then you have your tap one where you tap the beat. Yeah. Now the only problem with that is sometimes you're doing a mix and you want to be able to do, I don't know, like a rhythm of having your beat grid, your flipping double, your flanger, and it'd be nice to have break here, have a break one here, so I could do a mixture of them, because it's just nice to be able to do a mixture of things, but you can only do a mixture of three effects, so it's not that great. But also it's a bit annoying in the fact that it doesn't have levels. Like where you see them little strips here that have that shine green and go up and down, and sometimes hit red. I think that's what you call like gain levels, and it shows you how it is, so that then you can say, oh, it's in the red, so let's just turn the gain down a bit. It's just purely for like when you've got monitor speakers, or if you've got a hi-fi system, you need to be careful about how much you're putting through the hi-fi system. Then obviously you're going to need them levels. Also, it doesn't have a knob up here, which is going to let me change the gain, because it's sometimes you just want to change the gain, either to get one song to sound either to get one song that sounds quiet and make it louder, or one song that sounds louder just to turn it down, so it's pretty much the same volume throughout the mix. But other than because if they had them there, I could have just adjusted that while I was doing the mix, but now I have to do them before I do the mix, and I have to just have to listen carefully. But other than that, it really does do a lot of things. I mean, there's this button here which is scratch, which it's usually on. It lets you do like backflips, where you can spin the thing and do a black flip. I can't speak today. Backflip. Or you can if you've pressed play on the track too late, you can just use this to move it back a bit. And then of course you use your side to pitch bend to just match the track up. But then you have scratch here. If you turn it off, you can pitch bend via the actual pad itself. Now if you've used CDJs before, then you'll be perfectly used to having to use a side to adjust it, because CDJs, as you know, have the little bit on the top where you can scratch, and then it has like a little section, like a little ring thing around on the edges where you can spin around, like this one kind of has. It just has a little section here in which I would prefer to use, and I just think there's no point in having scratch off. But if you prefer to use the top to match up tracks, then yeah, you have this option to turn off that. But it is, if you're a beginner, then it may be a bit complicated, because you have to go, like, say in this effect you had beat grid, but you wanted it to be phaser. You have to press select. So press select and then spin around, but press and hold select and then spin around this. And I can't do that because too far away. You can't do it with one hand. And then spin it around and say, okay, that's the effect you do, and then let go of shift, and then you'll have that effect set there, and you can press and do all that. The software that comes with this I wasn't particularly happy with, because the thing is, when you're adjusting the pitch, you can only do it by so much, and also sometimes the songs say things like, this one's 128 beats per minute, and then this track is, I don't know, 90 or something. And the thing is, some tracks tell you what half of that track is. Like some tracks only count 1 beat per 2 beats, and it's a bit complicated that way, and it does just blow your mind. You can't think. You got to think, why is this? And you've generally just got to get used to the stuff. If you've been using stuff like Virtual DJ, like I do, which is, basically it's built to be simple, then you're not going to be used to having Serato DJ and that sort of things. So if you're a beginner DJ and you've brought this as your first starting to mixing, I would recommend go and pick up Virtual DJ, pay for it, because otherwise you won't be able to map it. There'll be a download link for the mapping as well. And then also I might do a tutorial on how to set it up, because the thing is, even when you've got the mappings in, you've still got to set the sound cards. I mean, I think you've got to set the deck 1 to, I think it's channel 1 and 2, and then this one's, I think, 3 and 4, or is it, no, there's 5 and 6, I think, I can't remember. Then you've got to set the headset, which I think is 7 and 8, and it's just awkward like that. It's just awkward to you just have to meddle around with it, figure out what goes where and how this thing works, and how this thing was built, so because it's not naturally set up for that. I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. In my case, it just didn't. So if you're interested in buying one of these and you're a beginner, then this is what I would recommend you buy. But if you are like me, you're a bit over beginner, but you're not quite professional, you're getting there, then this is something that, if you have, like me, you didn't have that much money to spend, and you didn't want to splash out on tons of money, or you just didn't have the chance to save up, or you just don't have that money, or never will for a long time, then this is a perfect way to just be able to use this and use a external deck instead of having to use the computer. I mean, you're still using the computer, and you're looking at the computer to see what effects you're using and all that kind of stuff, and seeing, just seeing what tempo you're on and all that stuff. But other than that, it is a really, really good mixer. I mean, I have been loving it since I got it. Except, as soon as I got it, and I've been trying it out for about 2-3 days now. I've just, as soon as that, I've realised it just isn't what I want. It's not got any. It's got a few things that I want. It's got definitely being able to do things externally, and it's got the ability to add effects, but it just hasn't got the effects I want. I wanted to use roll. I wanted to use, things like, I can get like external mixes where I can spin back and it makes this kind of weird break effect. It's not quite a break effect. And then you can have like these effects that make it go like, you can hear the sound where it goes down, and then a sound, and it just uses like a filter effect on it, and being able to use filters as well. It'd be nice just to have a knob down here as well to affect filters and colour effects. I wanted colour effects, but I can't get them. I think only DJAM 800s by Pioneer, I think they're the only ones that do it, and they're mixers. Or I think you can buy £500 DJ controllers that have that feature. of color effects, and I think that's like only 2 or 3. So yeah, this is brilliant for beginners, especially if you're learning how to start mixing, and if you're learning to use effects, then this is brilliant. But if you've already know how to do effects and already know how to mix, then maybe you should consider going for something more expensive. Maybe a DJ controller, the DJ, I can't remember what it's called, but it's a Pioneer brand, and it's pretty big. It's got color effects, and it has a section for roll and all that kind of stuff. Or if you want the full wealth of being able to do everything externally, then I would recommend getting the 800 mixer, either the DJM 400 or the DJM 850, along with CDJs, I think 1000s or 2000s if you want to splash out to that ones, because 2000s are absolutely awesome. 1000s are just the little brother to it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I did ramble on about other alternatives, and like I said, it does really depend on what you are going to be doing mixing. If you're going to be mixing and doing a few effects, and you're learning how to use effects and stuff like that, then generally, if you're learning, then this is what you need. This is generally what I would recommend. It's the world's best selling currently, and it was when it first came out with the Numark Mixtrack Pro, and this is the second version, and I believe it's still the best selling, along with the Hercules DJ Instinct, DJ Instinct. Which is just a cheaper alternative. I mean, it's the cheapest DJ controller out there, but it has very limited features and not really much feels as good as these do. I mean, some things are just, some of these like effects buttons, they're just like little bits of plastic, like this one here. That's really all it is, and it's not that great. But anyway, I've been rambling on here, so I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope this review helped you. If it hasn't, if you've got any questions, then please leave them in the comments, because I can't help you, and I can't do anything like that without you leaving comments. But if you want to know what should I start off with, I mean, if you've been mixing for a while, if you've been doing it for a while, and you want to get your first home setup or anything like that, ask me, and I might be able to. I say might because I don't know everything. I might be able to help you out, and I might be able to give you advice on what you should buy, DJ controller wise or mixer and deck wise. Now the only problem you might run into using one of these is obviously if you get to the point where you want to try to do things like like mashups, then maybe you'll need maybe just to get another one of these, or you'd have to have a mixer and 4 external decks, and that costs a ton to get. But in that respect, I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I'm going to stop rambling now. I've been talking on forever. But if you're interested in buying this, go ahead. It is one of the best things. It's about, I think it's retailed for about £160 now on Amazon. I think that's, I don't know, that's about $200. I don't know the exact, but it's $200-ish in America. Except you wouldn't have your VAT, I don't think. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, so I'll see you then.